Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is from absolutely cracking little car. Rare indeed, Honda CRZ, and it's the GT top of the range model, finished in white, which is the colour of choice for these cars. So that basically shows off the black panoramic roof, and they offset the colour beautifully. Also fitted with the optional 17-inch electro alloy wheels from Honda, and also the sat-nav option as well, so it's a very well specified car. Just 52,000 miles and a full Honda service history attached to the vehicle. The car is really lovely. It's a sunny day, so I'm partially inside. The sun's coming in and out, so I do apologise for you. Paintwork on the front, really good. Just the odd, obviously minor stone chip on the vehicle over the 10 years, but they are minor indeed. Near side of the vehicle, absolutely mirror smooth in the panel work there. Apologise, just flicked up some mud when I was just driven around, which is a heavy thunderstorm. Alloy really good on the car. On the front there, and that's the one that takes all the bashing, of course. Rear wheel, again, absolutely beautiful as well. Apologise for that, just lovingly attacked by the neighbour's Labrador. It's a lovely dog, I've known it since a puppy. Around the back of the car, again, all very clean and tidy. Again, rear parking sensors, front and rear parking sensors in the car. I got that completely wrong, sorry. To take that back completely. Rear parking sensors on the vehicle. Let's get this right. It's long enough, shouldn't I, by now? Rear alloy again in lovely condition. You do it this way so the sun doesn't glare too much. So it really is one of those four-season days today, so I'm just grabbing the best I can of the weather. And then final alloy, again, really lovely. So externally, the car is in really super condition. You know, again, there will be the odd tiny age-related mark, but it is in lovely condition. So coming into the boot area now, they actually have quite large boots, and that's one thing I would say about these cars. Although they are officially four-seater cars, don't think of them as four-seaters, they are two-seaters, because basically that's your back seat and that's your leg room, which is basically kneecap room. Best thing you can do is literally just pop that down and leave that down and just expose a huge boot in that case. This one's fitted with the optional rear load liner mat there, which means basically underneath the carpeted area looks absolutely brand new. It's been kept beautifully. It's coming in the passenger side now. Door card absolutely immaculate. Likewise, footwell areas absolutely beautiful condition. The front passenger seat there, hardly really ever been sat in. It's in beautiful condition. Coming to the driver's door card, again been kept absolutely beautifully. So it's been absolutely cherished, this car. And then coming to the driver's seat, this is the only one with a mark, and I'm going to show you it because the whole point of the video, but I'll tell you it can be easily done. We're not doing it, but it is on the car, just down there. Hopefully you can see. It's a tiny little hole. Someone sort of just caught it on the leatherwork there. But there are companies, if you wish to get it done. I think Chips Away, they do kind of fabric repairs and leather repairs. Don't cost a lot, but it is on the vehicle. But there you go. So it's inside the car now. Engine's running to this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated, as I always do in the videos. There you can see the dashboard. Just is, I say more about it in the following road test video, but it is a beautiful looking dashboard. Sat nav working exactly as it should. You've got obviously your USB leads, etc., power points, and on there, so you've got heated seats, two settings, warm and roasting backside, and then it's just fabulous dashboard. It looks absolutely stunning in the video, as quite often is the case. It will not do it justice, but hopefully you can see there 52,561 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard whatsoever. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CRZ, and it's the GT. This particular car is registered, I think it's AV60AVN, with a mileage of just 52,555 miles showing. The reason we do these videos, very simply, is basically
we just want people who are looking at our cars online or in an advert to actually see that very car in operation. We know to our costs just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in the description and the photographs provided, only to find that when you get there it's actually got an issue with the car which shows up on test drive. So that's why we do it, and we do feed that back to you. This video is slightly different to most, only in the sense that I'm going to go through the stuff I normally go through at length rather more quickly, because ultimately the car drives absolutely perfectly. But I like to talk about these cars a bit more than because they are a little bit different to other cars. So starting with the powertrain of the car, hybrid unit, these are what they call self-charging. You don't do anything, you don't plug them in, nothing like that. You can never run out of battery power. It's like the Lexus in that sense. It's absolutely brilliant. It works perfectly. There are no warning lights on. Every function working exactly as it should. But as I said, I'll talk more about the driving dynamics later. Same with clutch and gearbox. Clutch and car, absolutely perfect. Bite point's exactly where it's meant to be, and lovely and smooth in operation. And gearbox, again, zero wear in it. Feels absolutely perfect on there. Steering of the vehicle, again, feels tight as a drum. I'll wait till I get around the corner because wait for a straight bit of road, but there's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, and it tracks absolutely dead straight. It doesn't deviate at all. It's absolutely perfect in that sense. Chassis of the vehicle, again, what we're looking for in road test is just signs of any sort of wear and tear in the chassis, which normally shows up when you hit a bump. So you'll hear it hit the bump like there, albeit subdued, but there shouldn't be any kind of nasty kind of knockings or rattlings coming from underneath the vehicle at all, and there's nothing. It's absolutely perfect. Worth pointing out, the car will be going through a completely independent MOT tomorrow, so obviously all these things will be checked on top of the pre-delivery inspection we do on every car we sell. Brakes on the car, again, really lovely solid brake pedal on the vehicle. I'm looking for sort of any vibrations or pulsing from the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all. Inside the vehicle, everything working exactly as it should. Sat nav, you can see they're working absolutely spot on. Air conditioning pumping out lovely cold air. Heated seats work perfectly. Every button I've pressed thus far has worked exactly as the manufacturer intended. So as I said, drives perfect. Doesn't matter what distance you're coming, this drives exactly as it should. And I've had loads of these cars, and I have to say I am sorely tempted to buy this one for myself, and I've done it in the past, so I don't think I'm just saying that as lip service. Far from it. I am sorely tempted because it's been so well looked after. So coming to the car, I mean, basically the CRZ is one of those cars that Honda never really pushed, to much to their shame. It's a brilliant car, it really is, and I say in the advert, I mean it, it reminds me of kind of like a 80s 90s hatchback or hot hatch, because it's quite lightweight, it's very immediate in the way it reacts. You don't feel as though it's weighed down by them trying desperately hard to sort of make it kind of a mini limousine. And that's not to say it's unrefined, because it isn't. It's actually very refined, but it just has a lovely dynamic quality to it, and a genuine fun factor, not just a claim. They literally put a smile on your face when you drive them, because they've got an intimacy in everything they do. What I love about them, and I always have, is the fact they're just a very charming car. They're brilliantly reliable. And you only have to look at the latest sort of video online from CarWow, I think it is, telling you how the most reliable manufacturer of cars, used cars between 5 and 10 years old, is Honda, and it always has been for donkey's years, and that's a real test of engineering prowess and build quality. But this is more than that. This is about actually just enjoying the car. The engine is lovely in the way the powertrain works. You've got these 3 modes on the steering, on the side of the dashboard here. You've got Sport, Normal and Economy. It starts in Normal, blue background to the dash there, changes to green when you're driving more economically, that kind of thing. And it's perfectly pleasant in that. Economy, more obviously economy orientated, I find it too much so, actually. It makes the car feel too slow, and the steering's that bit lighter obviously on there. Press the sport mode, you get the red hue around the dashboard, steering weight's up, throttle response is far more immediate, and without a shadow of doubt is the mode to be in, because what you lose in economy, it's disproportionate how much more pleasure you get out of having one in that mode. I have had 2 or 3 of these before, and the first one I drove I actually honestly didn't get on with, only because I was desperately trying to get 65, 70 to the gallon out of it, driving like a little old granny everywhere, and it wasn't what the car's about at all. And I sold it. Next one I got, I chucked it straight into sport mode, and ever since, loved them. Absolutely loved them. Engine's got a lovely old school Honda feel to it. Wonderfully smooth in operation, lovely and keen to rev. And it's got that kind of induction noise, which I remember again in particular from back in sort of 80s and 90s, where you put your foot down and it sort of has a little snarl when you put your foot down. It lets you know it kind of means business. Unfortunately, there's a rather slow moped in front, so I can't do anything. But basically, you put your foot down, it just breathes in. It's really, really, really nice. But just a wonderful power unit, attached to which is one of Honda's greatest ever gearboxes. I still maintain this is probably second only to the S2000 gearbox. It's perfect for a front-wheel drive car. It's the best front-wheel drive gearbox I've ever used. The weighting of the gear lever, the quality of synchromesh, the actuation is absolutely brilliant. And even the gear lever itself feels fantastic. It's shaped perfectly to grip it with your fingertips, as you should always change gear on a Honda. Just superb. And then we get to the chassis, which, driving like this, is so comfortable and beautifully damped, and yet as soon as you come to a corner and you start leaning on it, it's got an absolute immediacy, but a maturity to it as well. It's not one of those where it feels very direct but also quite rattly and coarse in the way it drives. It doesn't at all. It has a really lovely refined nature to it, but one that is, one of the most fun cars I've ever driven. And it might sound cliched because I've heard it said before. People talk about this as being the successor to the CRX from back in the sort of the 80s. Well, I've got a CRX. It's on our website, and it does. The DNA is there. There's so much that reminds me of sitting in a CRX. The size of the cockpit, the layout, everything about it just has that same feeling inside, and that's a really, really good thing. What's also lovely is when you're sitting inside here, you've got something which is quite unique. The only thing that isn't possibly is the colour combinations, which clearly they're obviously pinched from BMW, but it works really well, the texturing of the plastics, and quite beautifully put together as well. They are absolutely brilliantly built. But then in front, you've got this information display with digital readout, lovely colouring, the graphics are fantastic. And then either side, you've got very symmetrical kind of controls, which again, very reminiscent of S2000 actually, in the way, A, they're that close, but B, the symmetry of them. As I said, I'm glad it didn't sell in big numbers in a way, because it almost spoiled the car. But it is to Honda's shame that they didn't pursue it or try harder with the car in terms of its marketing, and left it to only sort of just the one powertrain option in terms of the hybrid. If they'd given it just a normal petrol and possibly a diesel as well, they could have appealed to a far wider audience with the car. But it is a superb car in every single way. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, please don't hesitate, do give us a call.